Hello there. Welcome back to my channel. This is Karin with Kreativ Paper Artisan, and I am bringing you my design team project I'm really excited about, featuring my American Farmhouse kit, and I'm really excited about how this turned out. It was super fun, and I'm pretty sure I'll be making some more of these for gifts. So here it is, quick peek before we get into the tutorial. Cute little notebook holder. See, so this notebook opens like this, and then this one is a flip like so. Cute little pen holder right here, and little Velcro closure, and there it is. So cute, not hard at all. It probably will shock you how easy this was, especially when you learn from my mistakes. So stay tuned, and I will bring the tutorial to you in 2 seconds. Okay, so for this project, I'm really excited about this. I will be using some of the pages from my newest kit, the American Farmhouse, and it is on sale right now. It is the design team papers for the month of June. And so from now until the end of July, you can get the kit for 35% off, and I'll have all that information below in the description box. But I had a really hard time deciding which ones to use. I printed a few out. I'm going to have to pick and choose. This is just a tiny sample of all the papers in the kit. If you would like to see a flip through of the kit, I can put that link to that video below as well, so you can see the whole kit. But I had to kind of narrow things down because this project, there's only so many papers I need. So I think I've decided, what I'm going to do. And I'm also, I wanted to mention that this project was inspired by the Posh Paper Lady. She has such great ideas on like really fun contraptions and stuff. You know how I love my contraptions. But of course, I'm going to put my own spin on it, as you know, as we crafters do. I'm going to do it my way, but her video inspired me to do this. So I'm just using for the cover just a box, a protein bar box that I had handy. And I just cut it down to size, and it turned out to be quite perfect for these pages. So here's what we're going to do. This page I'm going to use as the liner on the inside, and the full page was not... I'm not sure how it went. Anyway, the full page was not quite long enough to be able to wrap around, which made me sad. But it's like barely. So I thought, you know what? I'm trying to be frugal here. I'm not going to print another sheet out because, you know, I could have taken another sheet. You know, we glue it together on the end, and then we'll have plenty to do that. But I'm going to be frugal, and this is part of my version of it. I'm not going to do a wraparound. We're gonna work around that another way. So I decided to cut it down just so that there's enough even border on each side, and I'm going to ink the edges. And I have this aged mahogany ink that goes great with the reds in here, so I think that'll look nice. Then my conundrum was this side, which I don't want any of this showing, but I think I will use this for the outside, and I'm going to use these panels, right? So I think this is going to be my front. And I'm just going to cut it exactly to size, which won't make the edges look as finished as I would have liked. But to fix that, I believe if I run this pretty lace, and I've had this for a while, and I thought, what am I going to do with gray and white? I don't usually work with those colors, but guess what? It works great with the gray and white in this Farmhouse kit. So I think if I run the lace around the edges, that will give on the cover, that will give it a nice finished look. So let's work on the cover. let's work on the cover. Oh, okay. And then also another kind of modification that I've made. This is not quite long enough to be able to wrap. So what I'm going to do is do the spine with a contrasting paper, which I believe I'm going to do the cute little flower truck because I think it goes cute with, the flowers and all that. I just love these images. So we're going to make the spine out of the little flower trucks. And then we will take these individual panels, and I'll do one on the front and one on the back. I think I want this for my front, and I believe I still haven't quite decided. I think I'm going to, since we're kind of doing the flowers and the trucks, I think I'll maybe have this one be on the back. But I may still change my mind. We'll see. So, without further ado, let's do a little bit of measuring. I tried to do some prep work ahead of time so that there's not so much happening here. See, I like this too. My printer was starting to do stripes. It wasn't printing right, so I don't think this one doesn't look so bad. Oh yeah, I see stripes. I know they're there. They're actually very. You may not even be able to see them, but the print job wasn't very good. I actually like that truck a lot too. But I'm going to use the sides that were the printer before it started messing up on me. Dang it, that dang printer. So all right, let me get the measurement for the spine. And I can wrap around a little bit, or I'll make it, a little bit wider. So the spine itself is 1 3/4. So just to give myself some playroom, let's say 2.5. Okay, 2.5 by, and I'm not going to wrap around the edges. So I'm just going to cut this exactly. 2.5 by 6.5. Okay, let me see. Can I do this with my little guy here? Yes, I can. All right, let me see. I want to be cute if I could make the one row of trucks go right down the middle. So yeah, that works out if I do that. I love it. I love it when things work out like that. Don't you know? All right, let's see, 2.5. Well, I'm going to give myself a little bit more playroom so I can finagle it. So I'm doing 2 3/4. Okay. And then 6.5. Oh, see, that one doesn't go all the way. This little guy, I love it, but I wish it was just a little bit wider. Okay, let me get my Mac. Well, this is not my Mac Daddy. My Mac Daddy is on another table on the other side of the room. That's my Mac Daddy. That's my big girl cutter. Oh, goodness. Got a bunch of dog hair. Looks like my dogs have been exploring up here. Okay, so yeah, 6.5. Okay, so that's that. And let's get this. What I'm going to do here, make sure that this is okay. All right, so did I cut it exactly? It's a little bit of overhang, isn't there? No? Tiny bit. Oh my goodness. An absolute whisper. Let me trim it because I don't want it to be like hanging over at all. And if it's a tiny bit shy, then I think that lace will cover it up. But I'm literally a whisper. A whisper of a paper. Okay. Let's see. Yep, I think that'll do. Okay. All right. I guess I can always shave it off a little bit more with my scissors if I need to. So I'm not going to work on centering it centering the paper itself, because I want the little truck centered. So let me make a little mark just to give myself a clue. I need a clue, man. All right, so that's 1 3/4. So half of that will be 1 2 3/4 and 1/8. Okay. My math is bad. That was probably not the best way to do it, but hang on. Where's my pen? Okay, here we go. Just to give myself a little bit of a guide so that I can line up my cutesy patootsy little truck there. So I'll kind of do it that way. And then, oh, love it. Loving it already. Okay, let me use the infamous art glitter glue. And I did print this on, what did I print it on? Yeah, it's a little bit thicker. This is, I printed this on 28-pound paper. So I'm hoping it won't show my little glue pattern here. And I'm just going to go a little bit on the edge here. I may need to do more. Okay. All right, let me see here. Got to move fast because you know how art glitter glue is. Dries fast. Okay, I think I got it right. Okay. Do I need to do more? Of course. No, I don't. There'll be another paper going on top of that anyway, so. Okay, so let's kind of work. Oop. Okay. I might need to add a little bit more glue here. Kind of bend it while I still have a little bit of time to work with the paper if I need to. Let me just kind of do this and this to give it a little bit more of a crispy look. All right. And I do need to shave just a tiny, tiny bit off. Got a little overhanger here. I mean, I can see it, but I can't cut it. It's such a sliver. Okay. If I don't cut it straight, it's okay because I'm going to be covering it up with the lace. Okay, so this is not sticking. I did not put enough glue here, so let's do that right now. Okay. Okay. Oops. Oh my goodness. I just rubbed off that paper. How did that happen? Luckily, that will be covered. Oh my goodness. I'm glad I didn't do that on the spine. How did I do that? I have glue on my... Okay. Well, there we go. And I'm seeing another little piece of overhang over here. All right. Okay, so... All right. Do that here. And do this there. I'm wondering... No, this should be fine. That should be fine. It's kind of bowing up a little bit, but how many times are you going to actually... I don't know. Let's see. I don't want it to... I think that'll be okay once we add that paper. All right. So now let me get this measurement. 6.5 by, I think it's 4.5. 4 3/4, just shy of 4 3/4. Maybe let's see if I do. Yeah, I've got enough. If I leave a little bit so that the spine paper shows a little bit too, I think that'll be cute. So maybe I'll do 4.5. Did I give myself enough room? Yes. Okay, 6.5 by 4.5 is what we need to cut this down to. Hang on, let me put this back so it doesn't get verklempt. All right, 4.5 by 6.5. Might as well get out the bigger one because I know I can't do 6.5. Now, of course, if you use just like a patterned paper and you can wrap everything, that's a really great look too. But I wanted to use this kit and I wanted to be frugal. So I didn't want to print a bunch of papers. I kind of wanted to use what I had. So, okay, what did I say? 4.5. That should be, well, I'm gonna do a little bit off of each side, even though this one has a little bit more playroom. But let me just see here what that brings me to. Oof. Paper's wrinkling. Okay, that'll do. Part of it's going to get covered up with the lace anyway. It'll be pretty. All right, so bring it to the edge. And yes, I like that. I like it a lot. Okay, but it looks like I'm hanging over again. Is my measuring off or is my cutter off? Surely it's not me. Yeah, I mean, that's 6.5. Okay, my cutter's off. Just a touch. Just a touch. Let me cut off. I'm going to cut off a little bit more on the top then. Just going to eyeball it at this point. It's not much. Not much, but enough to where I feel all right. Okay, that was a little bit too much now. That's okay. Because let me just make sure once I cover this, it'll be fine. Yeah, it'll be fine. And I don't necessarily need to ink the edges, these edges, because they're going to be covered with the lace. But since this edge is kind of exposed, I think I want to ink that with the burgundy or the mahogany, aged mahogany, just to give that a little bit of a finished look. It may not matter, but I'm gonna say it does, and I'm just gonna do it. But look how nice that red works with the red in this print. I love it. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to do the same thing for the back piece. Which, what did I say? I'm going to use this one. Yeah, I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to do the same thing and I'll be back. All right, so I've got my little pieces cut. I'm going to glue these down and then we will move on to the inside, which is where some of the exciting stuff is going to happen. Oh, yes, it's true. Oh, yes, it's true. So I'm just going to do the middle here. And on this one, I'm going to do the edge on the paper so that I know that it's getting where it needs to be. Okay, so let's get my edges here. And I did cut this a tiny bit too short. I went a little too rogue, so I'm going to center it. Ay. Okay. And it cut crooked because here, see, it's different. Oh well. Thank heavens for lace that can cover a multitude of boo-boos. All right. It's okay. It's okay. All right. And this edge, real quick, gotta move fast because, don't have much time here with the art glitter glue. This piece I cut better as far as the size. It goes up to all the edges very nicely. But hey, well, it's a little bit off. And that is why I love paper crafting, because even if it's not perfect, you can always fix it somehow. Somehow. Where there's a will, there's a way. That's what I say. Okay. All right, cool beans. So now I am going to do this. And now what I want to do, before I glue it down, I want to make sure that I'm allowing enough room for the fold so that it doesn't buckle. I think what I'll do first, I'm going to ink the edges first. Yes. I'm going to ink the edges on this. I'm going to ink the edges on this. Okay, stand by. Okay, so as you can see, I did this much wider because I didn't want any white to show. So this will fit nicely there. I love how that red matches very nicely. It's not exact, but it's close enough that it's a nice little compliment there. So, okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just glue this side down first. Before I fold it. I'm going to glue this side down first, and then we're going to fold it and see where that crease really needs to be. And then glue the spine down and then do that again. And I have a feeling it's going to shift my paper a little bit. But then I can trim that. So let's start with this. I'm going to actually do it. Start the first little section on the paper itself. Okay. Get this about where it needs to be centered. About there. Okay. All right. Now I'll do the rest on here. Okay. Now let's see where this needs to bend. And I'm going to be able to make sure that it has a nice, healthy crease to it. I know you can't see what I'm doing right now because I'm kind of looking from underneath, but you'll see in a minute. I'm just kind of, as I'm folding it, creasing that paper as well, because I don't want there to be any bubbles if possible. So when I fold it all the way, it'll be, yeah, okay. Oh, you know what, I did it upside down, but thankfully this paper doesn't matter. I was doing it from this side. That's okay. All right, so this is the front. Okay, either way is cool. So, okay, so I'm going to, so that's where it needs to, and you know, another way that, and this is the way that she did, the posh paper lady did it. She did the spine, it was all cut, you know, cut apart, and then the paper itself was the hinge. I'm starting to wonder now if I should have done that after all. That's okay. When I fold it, I didn't quite get that fold right. I'm going to try this again. I'm a little concerned now, honestly, that when I fold it, the paper is going to either buckle or bubble, or there won't be enough room for it to unfold completely. But let's just see here, because see, here's where it needs to be. There we go. I was a little short on the first try there for whatever reason. Okay, I think that'll be okay. All right. So I'll go ahead and glue that part down. Right up to the edge of the next fold. I'm going to go ahead and put glue right on that ridge where the fold itself is, hoping that will keep it from buckling. I want to get that down really good. Good and tight. And then when it folds, there will be a little crease there, it looks like. And I don't think it'll be bad enough where it's going to bother me, but that's something to consider. That's something to consider. And I'm seeing a little bit of a bubble happening here when I do that bend. So let me get a little bit of glue further up in here. Okay. I don't want to rub the, I don't know how I rubbed the image off on the spine. I'm still stumped on how I did that. Okay. All right. It's a little wrinkly, but you know what? It's not bad. It's really not bad. I'll make sure I don't want bubbles though. Wrinkles don't bother me as much as, well, at least in this case, as much as bubbles will bother me. So, okay, so that fold is pretty good, pretty good. So now I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to go ahead and manipulate the paper a bit to move it right to the edge of that fold on the cover. And then see about that. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll work. That'll be okay. I was thinking for some reason that I would have to trim it because it was shifting everything over, but I don't think so now. I don't think so. But I do want to make sure that this is right up against that fold. Okay. kind of scoring it a little bit, I think helps. I think it helps. All right, now I can finish. Get right up on the edge there. Okay, this is it. This is it. Work this way, get all the bubbles out. All the bubbles. All right. I think we're good. I think we're good there. Okay. Yay. All right. So now should we do the lace on the outside? Yeah, let's do the lace on the outside. Now, like I said, with this paper, I'm having a harder time opening it up all the way. And there's my boo-boo that you can learn from. It probably is better to cut the spine separately and then have the paper be the hinge itself. The one of the reasons I didn't do that, let me do this here, was because that really works best if you are going to take a bigger piece of paper and do the whole, wrapping thing. And I was just so determined not to wrap, or not to print out more paper and, glue them together to make a bigger piece of paper that I was like, I'm going to make it work like this. And it'll work. But as you can see, I can't really put it down all the way without it probably, like ruining this paper. For the purposes of this little notebook, I think that's fine. But there you have it. There you have it. That's one thing to consider. One thing to consider. Okay. Okay. So let's do the lace, because I feel like I want to get this cover looking a little bit more finished. That edge is bothering me. So I will again incorporate the folding into my measurement. I want to make sure that there's enough room, because I don't want the lace hindering it, So I'm going to cut it just a little bit bigger so I have a little playroom, and then I can always trim it. All right, I'm going to do the same thing here for the bottom. I think this lace would look really pretty with these colors. When I bought it, I liked it, but then I thought, white and gray. I'm not sure I've made anything with white and gray before. And I didn't really have anything in mind. I just thought it was pretty. It's a pretty combination. But I haven't really had a use for it. So I'm really excited that I can use it now. And it's going to look lovely. Okay. And how I do the corners is yet to be determined. I have an idea. But again, we shall see if it works as good in reality as it does in my noggin. We'll see. All right, so that is the front. Okay, so what I'm thinking is, oh no, this way. What am I doing? Okay, there we go. Is just letting the edges overlap. All right, which one's front? That one's the front. Just letting them overlap like this. And then if that doesn't look finished enough, putting like a button on each corner. I think that might look really cute, actually. So we'll see. Maybe a blue one. I'll have to go through my stash. I think I have more blue than red. So that's the plan. So I'm going to go ahead and glue all the lace down, and then we'll go from there. All righty. So I like how this is looking so far. The glue is a little bit wet still. I don't want to move anything around, but yeah, I think that's sweet. You know, some of the images covered up, but I don't mind that. And I did kind of figure out a way to make this open up a little bit more. I just kind of gently forced it to do this, which kind of affected the spine a little bit. If you flatten it out, you'll see there's quite a wrinkle there. But like I said, it doesn't bother me that much, especially since this paper kind of lends itself. Like this looks like a wrinkle here, but that's part of the digital. That's part of just the print. So the wrinkliness in this case, I think works okay because it's rustic farmhouse, you know, kind of, I think it's okay. So I'm liking how that feels much more finished now to me. And whether I add buttons or not, I don't know. I think I will, but we'll leave that to last. Let's work on the inside now, shall we? Okay, so this part, if you have little notebooks that you already have handy in the appropriate size, or if you can trim them down to the right size, you can just, let me see if I have, I don't have a good example, but, well, let me just show you what I'm going to plan on doing. I don't have a notebook the right size, so I'm going to make my own notebooks, okay? So this part I did ahead of time. I just cut 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper in quarters, which turned out to be a perfect size for this. So, but say you had a notepad already, and even if it has, like, you know, the black stripe or whatever holding it together, that's okay, because you can pretty it up by using you know, one of the papers, and you cut it to size, and then you just fold it over, and boom, you have a coordinating notepad. So what we're going to do is create 2 little notepads for each side, okay? And I want to do them a little different. I don't want them to be the same, because basically, honestly, I just want to use up more of my papers. So I'll probably use one of the other ones. What did I do with it now? I'll find it. But I'm going to do just kind of like a, you know, the little topper for this notepad. And then for this one, I want to do an actual like cardstock cover. So, but before we do anything else, we need to make this a notepad that you can rip apart. Now, this is going to be too thick to use a stapler on. For me, at least. I don't think I have a heavy-duty stapler like that. So we're going to do it a different way. And this way will be fantastic. And I don't know if you've seen this. You may have seen this before. But we're gonna make our own little, you know, notepad where you can rip the pages out. Let me grab my little clippy-doos here. Okay, so I'm going to get one edge. The top edge has to be very lined up. The rest can be a little bit off, which they are, because, you know, cutting is never perfect, even on the paper cutters. I'm finding they are betraying me by not cutting things 100% straight. So, but this is the top, and this is as straight as can be, okay? So I'll do this top, okay, so I don't forget top. All right, and I did another stack, and I didn't count the pages. I just kind of eyeballed it. It can be thicker because obviously look at, you know, how much room we have to deal with. So I just kind of eyeballed it. You can make it as thick or as thin as you have room for. So hang on, more clippy-doos. Okay. And so. And so. Okay, so now these are the two tops. The two tops. Now, all we need to do, in case you haven't seen this yet, you're going to be amazed. I remember I was amazed when I first saw it. All we need to do is run a nice, generous bead of glue along the top. Now, I've done it before using my E6000, but it does take a little bit more time to dry. So I'm going to pull out my hot glue gun, and we will do it that way. And then it will dry quicker and we can move on with more fun. So let me get that all set up, and then I will be back and we will do this together. Okay, so as I was waiting for my hot glue gun to warm up, I had a thought. On one of these, I'm going to add the same size cardstock on the back, just so that there's like an official back to it, because we will be gluing that down. So I wanted it to have a little bit more of a sturdy back. So I just cut the same size, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And okay, so now you may see here I've got my hot glue gun ready. So here's the top. We're going to carefully, whoops, as I knock things over, run a bead all the way across. This, the glue looks a little burnt. Okay. And just kind of spread it as we go, right? And we kind of want it to seep in between the pages just a little bit. That's why I'm not holding it very tight at the top. Okay, hang on. I already need a refill. Good thing I had one handy. All right, hang on. I'm such a klutz. I always hesitate to use hot glue guns because I just know that one of these days I'm going to like injure myself drastically. Okay, there we go. Now we can, and I'm going to flatten it a little bit. You know, I don't want it necessarily to, it could stay as a bead, but I'm going to flatten it a little bit. So as you can see, as I'm moving along here, just kind of squishing it down. But I want to make sure that it's covering to the very edge. And if it hangs over a little bit, I don't want it dripping down, but if it hangs over a little bit, that's okay. I can always trim it off, actually, with scissors once it's dry. So, and as you see here, this hot glue, that stick, I guess, has been in there for a while, and it looks like it's a little old, so it's coming out yellow, but that's okay because it's going to be covered up. Now that one front page is kind of sticking out a little bit too far, so I want to bring it back into the fold here. Bringing in the sheaves. Bring it back. Okay. Just kind of take your time with it a little bit, because we do want it to be secure. Doesn't have to be pretty, because we are going to cover it up. Okay, I think that should do it for now. And we'll just kind of let it sit here for a minute. Oh, I see. I need a little bit more here on the back edge. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to let that sit. I wonder if I can set it up against something without it getting. No, I guess I need to hold it. I need to be patient. Okay, hang on. So, but let me tell you my thoughts. So this one, as you can tell, is going to be one that you can rip from the top. And I kind of changed my mind on this one. I was going to make this one the same, but with a full cover. And I decided, that I haven't done this before. So I hope again that it works in my head, or in reality as well as it does in my head. I'm going to do it from the side, and it's going to be a little booklet that you open up like a book, and then you can rip it out from the side. So in concept, in theory, it should be easy breezy, work like a charm, right? So we're going to try it. We're going to try it. Okay, I think that's enough. Not quite dry enough, but enough where I can lean it up against something. Okay. So I'm going to restack this so that the long edge is perfectly even. Okay. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. All right. Okay, so then I'm going to do the same thing here. All right, so that one looks pretty good. Pretty good there. I'll probably go ahead and unplug this gun while the getting's good before I hurt myself. But I'm going to need to use both of my hands for that. So I'm going to give this a minute to dry so I can set this over here. All right. All right, got that puppy moved out of the way before I hurt myself. Phew. All right, so, and I had already gone ahead and cut a little piece of paper for the topper on this one. And let me see, I think I'm going to ink it really quickly. All right, there we go. So this is good and dry. It's a little tacky still, but it's not going to get in the way of anything. So I'm just going to fold over. I kind of want the little, well, I don't know. Do I want this much or this much? This much? The cars are so cute. I want to show them as much as I can. Let me try this. And the back doesn't need to be too much, as long as there's enough, because I'm going to be gluing that down. So I think I will go with this much here and just kind of, I don't need to do a very crisp crease because as you can see, it's thicker and, rounded. What am I trying to say? So I'm going to glue from the back, and then, hang on, let me see here. Okay. I'm going to glue from the back, and then just glue the very top. And if I can get this to stay down, I'm going to avoid gluing this actually down, because then, I won't be able to actually rip them out if it's glued down, right? So let's work from the back. Okay. Oh, well, what's the back now? Where's my cardstock? There it is. Okay. So about there. Well, maybe give myself a little more. Whoop, getting a bubble. No bubbles. No bubbles allowed. Okay. Now, when I fold it over, there we go. And let's see. Actually, wait for it. I forgot. I can trim. I'm going to trim some of this off because it's kind of creating a little bulky spot. And that is not working very well for me. I don't like that. All right, and I could actually flatten it a little bit more, some of the higher areas, because I've got plenty to work with. I'm not sure if it'll let me do that. I don't want to ruin my fussy cut scissors. You're probably screaming at the screen saying, don't use your fussy cut scissors. But these work so well. But maybe they won't work so well if I keep doing this, abusing it. Okay, I think that'll be okay. All right, let me get this back down. Okay. And then I'm going to use just a little bit of this glue to kind of keep the top in place. It's a little lumpy bumpy, but I think it'll be okay. Now, ideally, I probably would have used cardstock to do this little topper. But like I said, I'm being frugal. I'm being very frugal today. I'm being a frugal McDougal. And so I didn't want to print a whole sheet of this on cardstock just to do this little topper. So there you go. That's me being frugal, but you certainly can. And it might work a little bit better, actually. It might look a little bit better. All right, so that needs a little bit of time to dry. I think if I set it on its head like this, that'll give it enough pressure. Okay, cool. So now this puppy, we're going to do from this side. Now, do I need to trim anything off? It's actually looking a little bit better than my other one. Okay, so here's my conundrum, and I have another conundrum. I may actually have to go print off one more sheet. Because I was going to try to use these, use these up, the other ones that I printed out. But they're not on cardstock. But I was thinking I would just glue it on cardstock. But I'm not sure I'm liking that idea anymore, because if I cut any of these images down to the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, none of these images that I printed really would work well. I mean, this one maybe. It would just cut. No, maybe I will do that, because I really don't want to print anymore. I don't want to waste any more paper and ink. Maybe that could be the cover, because this one, 5 1/2. Maybe, that would be okay too. It cuts off most of those flowers, but that might be okay. It's actually, it would fill the cover up a little bit more. There's too much blank space on this one. And then this one, if I do 5 1/2, it cuts the poor little cow right in the nose. Don't want to do that. And then this would work, but it's a little too barnyardy for what I'm doing. This is more floral and trucky. So I'm thinking in the theme of going with what I've got, using up what I have, I'm going to go with this one. I think I talked myself into this one. This one would work okay too. It would cut it out to about here, and that wouldn't look horrible. But I think I'm going to go with this one. And it'll cut it out here, and that'll be okie dokie. So, but like I said, it's not on cardstock. So I'm going to just take a piece of cardstock and cut it to size. And we'll fold it in half. Oops. And maybe I'll ink the spine so that, again, I won't have the quandary of the paper bending around the cardstock and maybe warping it a little bit. I don't know. I may be overthinking it now, but I'm going to make it work. I'm going to make it work if it's the last thing I do. So let me go grab a piece of cardstock. I'm going to cut it to size, and then I'll be back. All right, my peeps. Okay, so I ended up cutting this a little larger than I thought I would have to, but it doesn't, that's cool. It ended up being 9 by 5 3/4, because I wanted to have, since this is kind of more of a booklet, I wanted to have a little bit of an overhang, and this is thick enough where I'm going to have to do like a little gusset, or what do you call that? Is that a gusset? I'm going to score it and make it like more square. So what I need to do now is kind of see where it's in the middle with a little bit of edge there. All right, and then I'm going to give myself a little bit of a marker there and there. And then I'm going to, that's about, that's about 1/4. I'm going to say 1/4. So I'm going to score. I'm going to use my scoreboard. Although, if you saw the last time I used this, I was quite disappointed that it actually is not, it doesn't score. The measurements aren't quite right here, but I'm gonna go for it. I was gonna pick a spot where the numbers actually line up with a groove. Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna score where I put the line. And then 1/4 of an inch. Or should I do the next one? Because see, the line is right in between. I might have to invest in a better scoreboard. This one was pretty cheapy. Okay. All right, let's see. Did that work? Stay tuned. Okay, let's see. So I guess I should probably actually fold it, huh? All right. Okay, yeah, that works well. That works good. Well, see now, now this side's a little bit longer. Okay, that's okay. I can trim it. Or should I make this the front and then I will glue this on the back? Okay, here's the other thing I wasn't sure about. If I wanted to make a pocket for this to slide into, I'm thinking no, I don't have quite enough room for a pocket. So I am going to have to glue the back down, and that's cool. So then my question is, it doesn't really matter then if it's not even, is it? I think I'll glue the short side down and then have a little bit longer hanging over here. But if you can, I don't know if you can see this, but even this isn't square. Even that's not square. Let me see if I cut on my little girl here. See if she's a little bit more square than my big girl was. Not really. Let's see. Let's see here, shall we? Okay, yeah, that is more square now. Okay. Good girl, little girl. Good girl. So the part that's hanging out more, I'm going to actually put that on the front. And then the shorter side is going to be glued down anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay. So now I'm going to ink the spine and ink the edges before I cut this out and place it in the middle. Alrighty, so here we go. Here's going to be the cute little cover to this. Yes, how cute. Okay. Cutesy patootsy little rooster. All right, now we're going to glue the goopy spine like that. And I think what I'll do, I'm not sure the art glitter glue is going to do the trick on this one. I should probably get the hot glue gun back out again, but I'm leery. I think I'm just going to go ahead. I don't want to mess with that again. As I was putting it away, I almost had another little mishap. So I don't trust myself with hot glue guns. So for this one, I'm just gonna see if I can get my E6000 to work. Okay. All right. Let's get this placed in the middle-ish. And then carefully, ever so carefully, glue it down like so. I've got glue on this hand now. I'm afraid I'm gonna rub off some things, some imaging again. I think that's what happened last time. I had glue on my hand and it kind of just acted like an eraser. Okay. Now, the inside is white. I'm tempted to do something on the inside. And then I don't know. I could maybe do another image on the inside, but I'm thinking it'll be okay without it. I'm going to talk myself out of it, I think. All right, so I'm going to do this to give it a little bit of help. And holding it in place until it's completely dry. Yep. Okay. Now, this one should be good. And I think this stays down well enough to be able to I think that works well. Okay. So now let's make sure I got my cover, the front on the right spot. Now I'm just going to glue this little bad boy down in the middle. How cute. This is really turning out cute with these papers. Really cute. Okay. Okay, now, while we wait for the other little booklet to dry, let's work on our little pen holder. Our little pen holder to put in the middle here, okay? Okay. Now, what I have not thought about is what paper I want to use for the pen holder. Let me see. Do I want to do the little cars again? That'd be cute, maybe. Or I have this. Maybe I'll do this. I have this scrap left from what I just cut off. Yeah, I think I'll use this. Okay. Hang on. Hold the phone. I'm going to just trim this off real quick. And I'm going to fold it into itself. Kind of do a tri-fold a little bit so that it's nice and strong. You know what I mean? Kind of do that. That kind of a deal. And I'm going to glue it onto itself. Just a tad. Just a little bit here and there. I'm not even going to do the ends really well because the ends we're going to probably trim off a bit. Okay, so okay, I'm going to grab, you know, it's good to have a pen the pen that you're going to use with the kit. And I don't necessarily have a pen that I thought ahead enough to use with this kit, but I found this one and it actually looks pretty cool. It has, you know, similar colors and the roses and the flowers. So we'll make this the pen for this kit. I think that looks good enough. So the one thing I don't like about it is it doesn't have a clip or you know, like a bigger little part on the top. So we're going to need to make this, you know, good and good and tight enough, you know, so that it won't slip through. But I think we can manage that. So what I'm going to do, let me see. I already know I want to cut this white part off. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna glue this part down and make sure it's not in the way of the folding. Okay, so I'm gonna glue that down and then just kind of eyeball here already. I'm going to kind of tuck it in, like you know, tucking a little kid into bed. So it's kind of going around it. And then I'll ease up a little bit, but I want it to kind of take that shape. So let me see here. I think I just need to cut it about there. All right, let me start with this end here. And I could use the E6000, but I really feel like for this purpose, the art glitter glue will be plenty strong enough. So let me see. I want to make sure it's centered as well. So let me do that. Hold this part down for a minute. Oh, I want to be crooked. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. And now I'm going to play with this a little bit. I want it, like I said, I don't want it to be able to slide out. I don't want to be so loose that it will slide out, but I don't want to be so tight either that it won't, I can't get it in and out, right? So, and of course how you do this will depend on the pen that you, oops, I need to hold that more. The pen that you use. And I may end up swapping out the pen, at least with one that has like the little clip thing on it so you can slide it in. So I may make this a little bit looser so it can accommodate a different size pen. A little bit of grace there. So, but oh, it looks pretty. It looks quite pretty with this pen, doesn't it? Let's see. Let me make sure that this is okay. That's better. All right. So here's the trick. I want it to be tight enough. I don't want it to slip out, just in case I decide to use this pen after all. Okay. I think we'll do it about there. I think that's quite lovely, don't you? Okay. Okay, so now this guy should be in a good place. And let's get those back there. Okay, so now I'm just gonna plop that right there. Plop it, make sure that it's not going to get in the way of the fold, so I'll probably put it closer to this edge than not, just to make sure. So once this is dry, the only thing left will be the closure. And that's going to be super simple and cute and adorable as well. So let me just say, I think that I'm going to utilize this strip for the closure. I do want to fold it again into thirds, like I did with this, or at least close to, because I'd like this to show, but it's kind of close to the edge. Again, trying not to print more paper, but let me see. If it doesn't look great, then I'll change it. I'm going to put a little more pressure on that for a minute here. Okay. All right, let me try folding this up just a little bit. Let's see how it looks from the front. Yeah, that still looks cute. I think that'll do. Okay, sold. Not exactly what I wanted, but I think it's close enough. All right, and then I'm gonna glue that again. Let me see, do I want this side or this side? Yeah, oh, actually, I could maybe, Yeah, I think I'll stick with that side, but I will have that be on top. That's pretty. That's pretty. So when you open it up, the inside is pretty as well. So I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. And obviously I don't need it this long, but that gives me some playroom. Gives me a little playroom. I think I like this. Okay, so I'm gonna cut a little curvature here. Okay. Do I need to put more glue? No. Okay. So we're going to have this be the... see, my pen's coming out. Oh, no, guys. Oh, no. I didn't make it tight enough. Okay, I'm going to have to use a different pen. Let me see. Do I have another one handy here? Oh, here's one. It doesn't really go with it. This is my Dogwood Hollow, our dog boarding business pen. But for now... I'll put that. I'm going to have to find a nicer pen to put in here. That's, matches, but has a clip like that. Okay. Well, for our purposes, we're going to use this just for the prettiness factor right now. I'll leave it out for now. Okay. So what did I say here? Okay. So this is going to go here. And I'll give it a little bit of room there, and I don't need too much. I think cutting it right there will be just fine. Okay, and now look, I've got this. I could still use this for something. I'm going to save it. Now the question is, do I want to ink the edge? Strangely, I'm thinking no. but I don't know. I'm not sure now. I feel like it might be too distracting. I don't know. I don't think I cut this evenly enough. Okay. You know what? I don't know. Let me think about this for a minute. I think I'm going to leave it. I can't believe I'm saying that. I can't believe it. So let me make this crease a little bit more pronounced. And that crease a little bit more pronounced. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just glue this. And then for the front, we're going to use those little Velcro dots. All right, so that's good and dry. I located my little Velcro stick-on coins. So let me just, well, I've usually seen it where it's like every other one is on the sheet, but here they have the full hooks and then the full loops. That's okay. I'll just do it like this. Cut these bad boys out. These are so cute. These are the smallest ones I've ever had. They're adorable. So, okay, so let's see. I'll do the loop side on the tab part. I don't think it really matters. Well, no, maybe I'll do so when it's open, it's nice and soft there. So we'll do the loop part on the bottom. Okay, so let's just take that, stick it about there, and then peel that off. Okay, there we go. And stick it about there, and hopefully this will stick enough. If not, I might have to add glue. So let's see, make sure it's straight. There we go. How cute, how cute, how cute. Okay, so now just a couple things left. Buttons. I think I want to do the buttons, and I do have more blue than red, so I'm going to go with blue on each corner on the front and back. And then I think that the blue is a little bit, I mean, it would work like that. I feel like it's a little bit big. It's kind of covering up that pretty little thing. I have one red one. I don't like this. This is the right side up. I don't like how shiny it is. This is a little bit more matte, so I may do it upside down. If I even do that. I can't decide if I like that or if it's almost a little bit too colorful for me. You know me. I like things muted. Maybe I'll keep it blue, all blue. It does cover up that. Or should I maybe not use that or not do a button at all there? Well, first of all, let's see if it, okay, yeah, I think that'll stick. Can always add more glue there if it doesn't want to. I don't know. If I do a button there, that will give it a little bit more stability. Maybe I will. But what I want to do first, I'm going to do like a fake stitching on here, just so that it looks like it's been sewn on. And also because that way the glue won't seep up through the holes. I've done that with a few projects and I'm not usually thrilled with how that turns out. So I'm going to do some little fake stitching here. And I'll just show you what I mean, just in case you don't know what I mean. I happen to have this little white thread. I think the white thread will be nice with the red, white, and blue. And then, where's the end? Haha. Okay. Okay, good. I was afraid I was gonna get it all in knots. Okay, at least not yet. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna get my needles out. And this, look at this fun contraption. My friend Elaine gave this to me. She made this out of scrap upholstery and lace. Look how cool this is. It's a needle caddy. I love it so much. And a little pocket for a little fold-up scissors she got me. Oh, it's so sweet. Elaine, if you're watching this, thank you again. I just love it, love it, love it. It's brilliant. All right, so let me just get one of these little guys out. And these needles have the little opening on the side, so I don't have to like thread, try to go blind trying to thread it through. I just need to get it into the little groove and then, well, get it. It's so easy, right? Hang on. Ay. Get the little loop. There we go. See, there it is. It's a pretty sweet little contraption here. So, okay, this is probably longer than I need, but I'm gonna go with it. Actually, I'm gonna double it up because I want to have it look thicker without having to go over it, 10 times. So I'm just gonna tie the two ends together. Maybe. I tell you what, my fingers and my eyesight are not what they used to be, which is a little depressing. It means I'm getting aged. I'm getting old, man. Okay, I've got a birthday coming up next month. I'm not going to tell you how old I am. I'm not going to tell you. I'm sure you'll find out at some point. I'll probably spill the beans at some point. All right, I actually don't really need to do. I don't really need to do a knot. I'm not going through material at all. So I want to do the little crisscross. That's what I'm trying to say. A little crisscross there. And then maybe do it again. And there. I think that's thick enough. And then I'll go across and over here. And again. Okay. See, isn't that cute? Then it looks like it's been sewn. And I'm just going to I was going to tie the ends back here. And I will do the others like that, and I'll be back. All right, people, I am back. Look how cute these are. So cute. Okay, so then I'm just going to, and I'm going to definitely use the E6000 for this. I'm just going to put them each on each corner. I don't know if I want to do it. I think I might do it kind of diagonal like this instead of like this. Kind of looks like a flower that way. Yeah. All right, let me do the corners real quick on the front and back, and then I still need to decide if I want to do anything there. I made one up just in case, but I don't know yet. Okay, let's see. Get this little guy here. So cute. I'm going to have to hold that for a minute. I'm going to do that on all four corners. Okay, so got the little buttons, cute little buttons on the corners. I'm loving it. Now, I cannot decide. I'm going to have to stand up for this. I have to make a decision standing up. Do I like that? With or without? I think with. I didn't think I was going to, but I think I've changed my mind. Okay, well, let me place that on there. And then this little cutie will be done. Ta-da! There it is. All finished. Super duper cute. I'm loving the buttons. I'm glad I did those. I really am. All right, so let me do another quick little flip through. I know you saw it at the beginning, but I can't help it. I want to keep playing with it. I want to keep playing with it. So here's your little pen holder, your 2 types of pads. And again, you can make this any size you want. This happened to be a really good size for me. Excuse me. And I was able to use the papers I already had printed without having to print more. Of course, you can do it all with one bigger sheet as well. But, play with it, do it, make it your own, just like I made this one my own. So thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your support. And if you have not yet subscribed, I would love it if you would subscribe and hit the bell so you get notifications the next time I do a video. And check out the description box below. You'll get all the info that you need to get 35% off of this kit right now. Okay? Thanks so much. Bye.